I'm the placement student at ArtReach Toronto, so I'm doing a social work program. So I'm shadowing Shahina and understanding how an organization functions, and I'm learning the whole grant process. It's really amazing. And but on the side, I'm also a web presence consultant. So I work with a social influencer. He has about 5 million followers on Twitter over various accounts, all branded towards different stuff. And through there, we work with advertisers like Red Bull and AOL. So I'm going to share some tips with you guys. I noticed this room is like young, so I'm going to tell you the first most. This is off my tips. Whatever you do on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, it's there forever. You can delete it, but it's been indexed somewhere. And honestly, just be mindful, because like you guys are young, you guys are growing up on social media. You guys are a unique generation, right? So just be respectful. Just think about, oh, my grandkids might see this picture one day. So just just something to think about, okay? But so my tip one is like, create a home base. You want a space on the online world that belongs to you. So this can be like a website, it can be a Facebook page, it can be a blog, but you want something to center you. And don't think you need a $3,000 website to be effective. Simple, free stuff is the most effective stuff. So just think about it. Don't think, oh, I got to pay a web developer $3,000 for a website. Just do it yourself. Figure it out. There's so many free online sources out there. You guys are young, smart. Everything will just click when you start doing it. And from there, you want to put everything that's important to you. So like if you're a visual artist, put some of your visual work up. If you're a spoken word artist, put some of your poetry up. From there, and like and put your about me, like all your contact information. From there, pick your battles. Like you can't be on every single social media site all the time. It's a lot of work. So pick a couple, 1 to 3 that really work towards you, that really geared towards you, and most importantly, that you're passionate about. If you're not into Twitter, don't do Twitter, because you're not going to update it. After a couple of weeks of signing up, you're just going to die. So pick something you really care about, right? And don't fall into the mainstream pressure like, oh man, I got to tweet now. But if you're not into Twitter, do Instagram, or do Facebook, whatever you really care about. And once you establish that, once you figure out what you want to use, cross-promote. So use your Twitter, your social media to promote your website. Use your website to promote your social media. Use your Twitter to promote your Facebook. Use your Facebook to promote your Instagram. And just connect everything and just like have a plan of how you're going to promote it. But you got to remember, there's different languages in all these sites. You're not going to use a hashtag on Facebook because they don't work, right? They're on Facebook. They're not on Facebook. They're on Twitter and other sites because they're a way of indexing information, right? And at any point you guys have a question about like, what does that mean? What's going on? Just put your hand up and I'll answer your question about social media. Tip 3 is engagement. Just don't spam your audience. Like, check out this, check this out. You want to put meaningful content out there. And when you put that meaningful content out there and someone likes it, appreciate that like. If someone comments on that was amazing. Like it, say thank you. Like you gotta engage back with them. Because they took the time out to communicate with you, you should take the time out to communicate back. Because there's people behind these screens, right? And that's how it builds up. You build your reputation like that. Like, hey, this guy is grateful for whatever he did. Tip 4 is maintain a balance. Like, not everything's done on the online world. Not everything's done through the real world. Like you're here right now, you're doing face-to-face networking, you're shaking hands. Follow up on these leads afterwards on social media. If you look at their business card, oh, they have a Twitter. You know what? I'll follow them on Twitter. Send them an @mention. Hey, I met you at the workshop. It was great meeting you. If you're on a Facebook event and you see someone that was at this Facebook event last time, and you see they're going, you know what? Creep them a little bit. Figure out you want to talk to them again. Creep them a little bit. Figure out what they're up to. Break the ice. Engage. Like talk to them. Like they'll remember you for the most part. And tip 5, I gotta say, don't give up. Like just because you don't get 1,000 followers your first week, it doesn't mean you're not doing it right. Like it takes time. It's like planting a tree. It's gonna take time to grow your online presence. And it's a slow process and it snowballs. So it grows and grows and grows. But you also have to think about your demographics. If you live in Toronto, you're a Toronto-based artist, you're gonna have different numbers than someone living in New York, just because there's more people, right? So you gotta think about like how many people live in an area. So if you and be grateful for how many followers you have. You want quality followers. Like I'd rather have 10 followers that I interact with, that I know, than have 1,000 unknown people. Like doing that follow back thing. Don't go into that. Like keep your integrity online. And like don't work hard, work smart. There's a lot of tools out there that can help you with your social media. There's a lot of free resources. There's so many free online universities now, like courses. Just find them. You guys are young, you'll engage in them, you'll pick it up, and you just run with it. So those are my 5 tips.
Wonderful tips. use those tips. They're for real. I'm learning some of his tips right now. What I would like to add, though, networking is big. And I know sometimes, you know, you don't really want to sit there and talk to someone you don't know. You don't want to step out of your boundary and go to somewhere, oh, I don't even know how to get there, and I don't even know what they're talking about. First of all, you should know where you're going. You know, you should obviously think, okay, this might, yeah, that me and that make two. Okay, that's cool. Identify yourself with things. If you look at something or you hear something comes up on your Facebook, maybe. If it makes you say maybe, then you should think about it again. If you just go right over it, then you went right over it. Okay? You want to make sure you're in the same room with people that can get to you where you want to go. You don't want to be standing in a room with people that can't help you. It makes no sense. Okay? Also, try to align yourself with people in a sense that your product that you have right now might not be the priority of that moment. It might be helping someone get to their goal. Help them out, because then they're going to return that favor. They're going to remember, especially if your product is closely related to theirs. Perfect example is the Big Ticket. The Big Ticket is a concert showcase that I partnered up with. I don't put on stage shows anymore, but my brand is G5 Canadian Urban. What I do is I play 100% Canadian content. So I'm going to find artists, and the artists are going to find me. Okay? You want to align yourself with like brands. Brands are just you, what you do, what your product is, who it services. That's what your brand is. And have integrity for it. Like Mandeep was saying, you know, be careful of the things that you're putting up on there, because then people that may be interested in working with you, you have to understand people are watching you, especially if you're moving and shaking in the right way. But if you're associating with people that really can do something for you, frown upon, shoot yourself in the foot.
Online reputation.
Yeah. And how you carry yourself when you go to an event. If you go to an event and you're all reserved and you're not really talking to anyone, then no one's really gonna want to try and. Some people may say, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" And it might open you out your shell. But if you're spending all this time being so recluse and I don't know, it's not gonna work for you. Okay? And you're in the wrong business. And it doesn't mean that's in anything you do. You gotta at least take that step to say hi, smile. A smile makes someone want to come over to you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Okay. I'd like to talk about, like, what do you guys do? Like, tell me what. Like, I know he raps and whatnot. I think you rap too. I know you rap. But what else are you gonna do? Tell me. Talk to me. Because that's how you're gonna get the answers that you want. Yeah, tell me what you do.
I run my own foundation, T.O.K.T. Hip-Hop. It was a youth-led initiative that started last year, and the objective was to embed at-risk youth with how to be MCs versus just rappers.
Okay.
So we had 4 workshops based on the elements of hip-hop, fire, and water.
Okay.
And we had a back-to-school event at the Ontario Science Center.
Perfect.
On the Toronto Star.
You should check out ArtReach Toronto. Our grant deadlines are May 16th. Call ArtReach Toronto. Ask for Kate Frazier. She's the program manager. She's an amazing person. It should be really supportive.
And definitely get at me, because I can give your artist a platform via online radio and performing opportunities. Yourself. Let's get it going. Let's mess it up here.
As I said before a bunch of times, I'm Obi Malda, 16-year-old hip-hop artist, currently working on his debut mixtape. I've done a bunch of shows around the city, done it for over 3 years now in the States, over here, and I'm currently working on putting out quality material for everybody to listen to.
Yeah.
Both of us are running a art council in our school. We paint, we run workshops for kids who are interested in just doing arts. We also we make murals, we make large-scale paintings, whether for other councils inside our school or just like yeah, other than that, we also do some fundraising for our own council.
We try to connect like students from our school with programs like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like programs with ArtReach.
That's cool. Any something this? We're gonna go back that way, but we're going with the
order.
flow. We're going with the flow right now.
So I'm the Community Outreach and Partnerships Coordinator for Lost Lyrics, which is an organization that is like youth-led, youth-oriented, and it's all about artistic development and combining that analysis with like social justice. Definitely have a really large presence in the Jane Finch areas, Jane Shepherd, and becoming more centralized, but you know, there's a lot happening in Malvern. A lot. And if we can do skill shares and organize so that we're developing a platform and an organizational memory that's accessible to young people, that is all about art through resistance and resistance through art, then dope.
That's cool. Okay, we're gonna go like this. What's up?
Me?
Yeah.
I am an arts educator, so I've just kind of started up my own company called Growing Movement, and I teach dance workshops that are educationally based on curriculum guidelines in schools. So I want to make art accessible in the public education system.
Cool.
I'm a graduate of Seneca, Fashion Arts program. I started my own accessory line. So that's pretty much where I am right now.
Hey, what's happening?
I'm on the board of Scarborough Arts, so I'm just here to, we're always trying to make Scarborough Arts better and more relevant for everyone in Scarborough, so just sort of see what's happening. This is a neighborhood I grew up in, and so I wanted to come and support and also see what more Scarboroughs can be doing for everyone in the community.
I have
What's up? Of course you do. You're here. You're important. You're sitting right there. Tell me something, man. That's big. Learning is big.
You like to DJ.
That's a DJ. Awesome.
Good DJ.
That's cool. Oh, that's why you're quiet. You're a DJ. I'm a weird DJ. I talk a lot, but I DJ too. Hi, miss.
Hi.
Looking up pretty in the back there. What's up?
Well, I'm here to learn, and I'm an intern at Neighbourhood Arts Network. I graduated from George Brown, a performing arts program. I'm currently an English and Cinema Studies major at UFT, and I like the arts, and I like meeting new people, listening to their stories, and so this is all new to me, and I've gained a lot so far, and yeah.
That's wonderful. You gonna wrap this up?
I'm actually just a volunteer with Jeanette.
Okay.
It's pretty much just a learning opportunity for me. So I follow her around everywhere.
That's cool.
And I do whatever she does.
All right. You want to hit it up?
Yep, my name's Keys. I represent 3 organizations. I represent Rise Poetry, I represent S.P.O.T over here, and I represent myself and the Young Heavyweights, which is a Malvern collective group of hip hop artists. And I like to connect people, so if you and I happen to speak and you tell me something that rings a bell, it's a couple of keys, I'll open the door for you. Thank you. I'm not too good with my speeches. I represent Rita Rap too. I'm employed to Rita Rap now, and we push literacy through hip hop, through the music of hip hop, to people the ages of 14 and 18 for here in Malvern, as well as we go to different schools and we teach literacy to hip hop, from anywhere from grade 3 and up.
That's cool. The reason why I asked that is because then we can better answer any questions that you have. To me, I'm more excited to be here because I'm looking at the future. And in order to stay relevant, you got to embrace the future. And using the tips that he's got and the tips that I've used to get me to where I'm at right now, it's obviously gonna, you guys are gonna slingshot way past. You guys are already further than where I was when I was at you guys' age, right? So with that being said, I want to say that when you go out to events, make sure that your presence of your brand is there. My presence of G5 is that we support Canadian content. So what I do all the time is I always embrace artists. If you're going on to a show and you came off stage, I'm one of those guys. Good show, man. Good show. And I get at you, and I'm never even afraid to be like, you know what? Next time, don't cup the mic like that. So who's this guy? I don't even know who this guy. Tell me, but I'm letting you know I'm paying attention to your show. I'm here paying attention to you. and I'm supporting you. And little things like that, it sticks out in people's minds like, okay. And that also makes your brand familiar with people. It lets people remember what you're talking about, who you're talking about, when they're talking about anything that's close to you. You want to be that person that, G5. If someone says 5, they should be thinking 5. That guy, that crazy guy, G5, I remember he was cool, blah, blah, blah. When you, like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, you're from Jane all the way down there, coming all the way up here to do work. Like, that's big, right? And you guys are from Malvern, and it's like you just took Toronto and made it a sandwich, you know? And you're actually making something good happen right now because you, like I was telling my man earlier, we're all like farmers and we're planting soil. Like right now we're toiling the soil and we're trying to make some good products. By us making different connections, things like this, we are now in the cultivating of saying, okay, let's make some good products. A lot of you don't know, but I breed and collect snakes, right? So it's like that. So I'll take a healthy female. I'll take like a albino female, right? I'll make it really dumbed down for you. I'll take an albino female and I'll take a high yellow pastel male, and then I'll put the two of them together. So what you guys are doing is taking that albino female, that high pastel, and putting it together and making some quality product, because when the kids that are coming up under you guys are watching you guys, they're looking at you guys as role models, whether you like it or not. You understand? And it's really hard because when you're watching television, let's be honest, everybody in here is up to urban media. You know what I mean? Mandeep's telling you, watch what you say on Facebook, because yeah, that sticks with you. Not only does it stick with you with your followers and the people you encompass, but people who might say, I might want to give you 20,000. Not anymore. Not what I just saw, because yeah, you're out there putting yourself hashtag or da-da-da-da, whatnot, Facebook. They're going to look at that and they're going to do that little background check on you and see how positive are you, and do I want my brand associating with that brand? All of you have pretty strong brands in here. You guys are pretty reputable people. Like I'm feeling small right now, you know. And with that, make sure that you're passing that knowledge and that vibe to the next person that you meet, so that they can also talk about your brand. Because who they know, you don't know. Therefore, that's one more person that knows about what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Randy, you got anything to say?
No. Do you guys have any questions? Well, I have a lot to say.
He's got a lot.
But I really don't know where to. Yeah, I really don't know where to like start or end with this. Do you guys have any questions? Like, yeah,
I didn't mean to do that.
It's hard to follow up after that. Like,
no, the reason why I said that is
you can
because
use social media like this. I'm like, oh man, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just did that because
yeah, I know.
It's to be honest with you,
I only got one.
I've met a lot of dudes who are into breeding snakes that don't go out to hip hop events, but they met me and now they know about hip hop events. You get what I mean? I know youth that could actually come to you and get a grant because they want to open their own snake breeding business.
ArtReach.
Yeah. ArtReach. But you
I
know,
I
know, but I know that you have to understand that. You ever heard? I know a guy who knows a guy. That really means something. A guy who knows a guy. But you're never gonna know that if you're not open to knowing people.
Well, and that said, 6 degrees of separation on social media. You'll be surprised, a friend of a friend who they are. And when they press that like button, the way people's stuff is set up, if they press a share button, you have no idea what newsfeed is going into. And like, even if you have your stuff private, like if you share something, cross exposure. Like let's say you have 100 Twitter followers, and someone retweeted that from 100 followers, someone retweeted you, and they have 1,000 followers. That tweet got exposed to that 1,000 followers, and you'll be surprised. Then from that 1,000 followers, someone has a 300 group following. They retweeted it. That's huge exposure. That's called social reach. So you don't think about it like that, but like think about it like that, but don't think about like you need 10,000 followers to be effective. Like have a strong social reach.
Mm-hmm.
But
and stay away from the Twitter bashing, I guess you would call it. Like
Twitter hating?
Like if someone tweets something, like perfect example, we about last summer we had a guest in our show on G5, and we were interviewing him, and I'm in the interview and I'm talking, and my partner who usually does the social stuff, he's on there talking about, check out this, and he's reading a tweet that's coming up that's like a guy is bashing this dude right here on our tweet page. And I was like, okay, but the first thing I didn't make a big deal of it. The first thing we did, we just deleted that guy from it. One time. We did delete him. I didn't mention nothing to him. I completely thanked that dude for coming out. And that was it. I didn't even address that. Certain things you don't have to address. It's the cyber world. So it's all about a push of a button. If you find someone that's bringing this kind of negative energy, you have to understand that's a reflection of you, even if it's not you. If that person is someone, he's sitting beside me and he's talking all this crap, I look like I'm in with it. You get what I mean? Delete that kind of stuff. Don't take time to sit back and, getting all this riff-raff and going back and forth. Just delete it. Delete it and move on. Take all those battles as it wasn't even a battle. I don't even pay attention to you. And just move on from that. Because you always want to keep yourself at a high stature and keep those around you at a high stature. Always be positive. I know it's not easy most of the time. It really isn't. But if you have that end product all the time in mind, the stuff in between it's software.
How many of you are the kids someone's post from your timeline because they're just so negative or you just got tired of it? So think about it. If the kind of stuff you put out there, what would you do if you saw this kind of post, right? We all do it. Oh, you're off my timeline for now. I don't want to see this anymore. So just be mindful of what you put out there.
I think that's it.
I was talking about social media strategy when you said don't follow anybody just to follow them, like the whole follow back thing.
Yeah.
But what I find works for me is because I'm Haitian, we use Zoe as a way of representing ourselves. So I hashtag Zoe Nation, and then I just follow anybody that just has the tag in it, and then even though I don't know them, they may be across the content.
As long as it maintains your integrity. If you're compromising something to get that follower, is it really worth it? But the way you're doing it works too. I'm not gonna say there's a right way or the wrong way, but as long as you're comfortable doing it. Don't do anything that you'll look back later on and be like, what did I do, right?
And also, it's still associated to you because you're Haitian. So you are associated to that. So all you're doing is opening up other Haitians to what you're doing. You're saying, hey, look, I'm a brother and I'm over here. So you're just letting people find you. That's a good way to do it.
By the way, congratulations. That's a branded hashtag. You should put it in your profile. And you should have that. You should have it in your profile. Any one of your members who are core members should have that in their profile. That's continuity. So your bio should never be more than 160 characters, short and sweet. You want more intense bios explaining everything, put it on your website. It's a bigger platform. But after 140, 160 characters, your attention span just drops and people just stop reading. But so when you have a Facebook account, a Twitter account, a YouTube account, you want very similar bios. You want to be easily to be identified, very similar pictures. Same with your username, your handle. For example, ArtReach Toronto is our .ca is our website. Our Twitter is ArtReach Toronto. Our Facebook is ArtReach Toronto. So that's continuity and that's recognizable. And we have a very similar picture for the most part on all of the same stuff. So people can recognize it when they're skimming through the timeline. Oh wait, ArtReach is saying something now. So continuity is key.
I think we're wrapped. Before we wrap, yes, teacher. Yes, miss.
I was raising my hand to you.
Go ahead.
Just on the social media front, we have an upcoming contest, and it's basically 6 $1,000 prizes.
If you find sometimes things go wrong. Going back to never giving up. Going back to associating yourself. Say you have a website. Website's going great, and your web developer, you and that person, you fall out, and they completely just, and this happens, right? They completely just neglect it. It just goes down. It's just all wrong. It's all wrong. There's no way you can fix it. Stay on your feet. Always land on your feet. Perfect example, G5 Canadian Urban was an online presence, live to air online. The hub that we were at, they folded completely. We walked in one day, we walked into an empty room. Just imagine a full-on studio, you walk in the next day and it's empty. You're like, what's going on, right? Now, that was my point where I could have had a nervous breakdown, but I didn't. what I did is I went back to my podcasts. I went back to doing everything mobile. So I have now so now what I did, I'm now being able to create another product. I have the G5 mobile mixes, I have the G5 mobile interviews, right? I also tagged on with the big ticket. So now I'm more relevant than I was before because I was just one program, but now I have different pieces of product that I can offer to people, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is, if the ceiling falls in, just run out the door, run out the window. Don't just sit there and be like, oh man, the ceiling fell in. Stay on your feet and keep it moving. Just always think, what's my next move? What's my next move? Okay? That is important. And that will also come from the associations and the links you build. Because once you see someone's doing something, you think, oh, I can fit with that. Let me help you out until I can get my feet running again. Okay? I'm gonna peace out with that one.